In November 2018, I slipped on a melted ice cube from the refrigerator, and my husband took me to the emergency room and stayed in the ICU for 3 days and in the hospital for 10 days with a traumatic brain injury. It was very scary, and it completely changed the trajectory of my life. Physically, in the very beginning, there were a lot of symptoms. Emotionally, it was very difficult because I lost some cognitive abilities. My self-esteem was low. I was short-tempered because I was frustrated all of the time. Couldn't even remember how to cook or remember how to complete a recipe.
If your brain doesn't work well, you don't work well. So gaining a better understanding and shifting this paradigm to let's focus on the brain is vital to all we do. One brain is not the exact same as the other brain, even if they may share the same diagnosis. Mental health in many ways is foundational for our lives. Our brains dictate how we interact with others, how we manage our relationships, how we manage our jobs. It often dictates how successful we're going to be.
I hate the term mental illness. It's stigmatizing, demoralizing, shaming, and it's wrong. So many years ago, psychiatry and neurology got divorced. And it was a bad divorce because neurology got the brain and psychiatry got the mind. But what psychiatrists didn't realize is it's your brain that creates your mind. And without it, you're guessing. Psychiatry is the only medical specialty that virtually never looks at the organ it treats.
When I was in one of my traumatic brain injury groups on Facebook, somebody mentioned a different scan called the SPECT scan. My family was open to finding some more answers and not just having 3 screenshots of the CT scan we got in the hospital. That's all we had.
SPECT is a nuclear medicine study that looks at blood flow and activity. It looks at how your brain works. It's different from a CAT scan or an MRI, which show the brain's structure, which most often is not helpful in psychiatry because the problems are not structural, they're functional. Over the last 30 years, we built the world's largest database of brain scans related to behavior, and the scans taught us these are not mental health issues at all, but rather they are brain health issues, and this one idea changes everything. Get your brain right, and your mind will follow. I got a call late one night from my sister-in-law, who told me my 9-year-old nephew, Andrew, who's also my godson, had attacked a little girl on the baseball field that day. And she said, "Danny, he's different. He's mean. He doesn't smile anymore." My first thought was you have to scan him, because how do I know unless you look? And what we found was he had a cyst the size of a golf ball occupying the space of his left temporal lobe. The day of his surgery, I got 2 calls, one from his mother, and she said, "Danny, when Andrew woke up from the surgery, he smiled at me." She said he hadn't smiled for a year. The second call I got was from the neurosurgeon who said, "Oh my God, Dr. Raymond, that cyst was so aggressive and it put so much pressure on his brain. It actually thinned the bone over his temporal lobe. If he would have been hit in the head with the basketball, it would have killed him instantly. Either way, he would have been dead in 6 months." So here at Amen Clinics, our goal is to change how mental health is practiced worldwide. It's so easy to call people bad, to shame them, to belittle them. It's harder to go, why?
The reason that I came here was I discovered the Amen Clinic from a Facebook group. My first appointment with the clinic here was about 9 months after the accident. I had regained enough cognitive ability to be able to express what was wrong. I felt listened to here. I felt understood. I felt part of the process. I felt that as a patient, I had a voice.
Erin's a passionate, intelligent individual. One of the keys for her that often fed her mood and fed her confidence was her intellectual function. And all of a sudden, one of the ways she's defined herself wasn't meeting up to her standard anymore. Can you imagine going through that, going through feeling like you've lost an aspect of yourself? So showing Erin the SPECT image, showing her the areas of injury, showing her areas of decreased blood flow, decreased activation, potentially related to poor oxygenation, which actually related to something else called sleep apnea, changed the game. So now she's invested in all the different aspects of her treatment plan.
The role of the brain SPECT scan in the evaluation process is so helpful, not only to the doctor, but also to the patient outcome managers. Because during the outcome calls or during the aftercare calls, I'm able to reference the areas of their brain that are overactive or underactive and say why certain prescriptions or supplements or even certain recommendations are provided. I really value and consider it an honor to be a patient outcome manager. Not every clinic has this position available or sourced within their business. So we answer questions, we write their history, but also we want to partner with them throughout not only just their couple appointments in the clinic, but even afterwards.
I've been so blessed to have been connected to the Amen Clinic since I completed my residency training, because I've learned to see mental health, brain health in a completely different way. Being able to be here and be in this community of people who are passionate about brain health, we live this stuff.
This has been a completely life-changing experience for me. I wasn't sure what was going to happen with my life after the accident. I'm back to work full-time. I have a healthy and happy family and home life. I am active with my friends. Amen Clinics, they're part of my journey.
We know the relationship with your caregiver really matters. I love teaching, I love writing, and I love stories. Being able to share it on the podcast, or now I've written and produced 14 national public television specials that have aired about 120,000 times across North America. My goal is to be the little voice in your head that helps you do the right thing, to love and care for your brain.
Are you ready to change your brain and change your life? To learn how we can help you, visit amenclinics.com or call 844-209-3670.